Because I have a source that says you were brutal to them and that you said you would destroy them, you would destroy their province, you would destroy it, and it would be, everybody in the area would be dead. Did you say that?
So what I said, and I had a very strong conversation, I said, I hate to start the conversation this way, but that's the way it is. And I said we would do serious, serious harm to them if they killed any of our soldiers or any American citizen.
Yeah, he was super tough with the Taliban, which is why he turned tail like a big pussy and gave the entire country back to them. And Okay, hi, Frangela. Hi. That was... You always hurt the ones you love. I'm sorry to play the Donald Trump soundbite for you. I think they can't hear us.
No, I can. I just choose not to.
I see. You were effing with us. Okay, thank you, because we thought it was technical, and you just don't want it. La, 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 I can't hear Donald.
I was about to panic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes. That was him talking about how very, very tough he was on the Taliban before he drew down troops with no concessions at all and just handed the country back to them with no the worst deal ever.
It was before he talked about Haitians bringing AIDS here.
Okay.
Yeah, that was fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun too. I don't understand why we keep putting mics in front of his face.
Yeah, well, that was Hannity.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Why we put a mic in front of Hannity's face? Like,
Yeah.
I got questions. Like, what does it take actually? Because we don't have a show. Why do you people
we don't have
shows?
No. Yeah.
You do Final Word, an idiot of the week, shows you cannot miss on the Sexy Liberal Podcast Network.
That's right.
Michael in South Carolina, you're on with Frangela. Hello, Michael. Oh no, really?
No.
Michael?
Oh God, no.
All right. Well, it was just working a second ago. Let's try David in Miami one more time. Hey, David. Hello. Hello.
Oh, this is hard.
All right. Well, it's one of those days. Okay, Frangela. So
Kill me now.
I believe David wanted to bring up, there's even new insurrectionists we're hearing about in this latest report. A Pennsylvania congressman is at the heart of a Senate Judiciary Committee investigation of Trump's efforts to use the Justice Department to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Representative Scott Perry, have you heard of this guy? I hadn't. He led the objection to certifying Pennsylvania's 2020 electoral votes, played a key role in attempting to get Trump loyalists installed at the Justice Department. The former president asked Richard Donahue, who was then the DOJ number 2, for his cell phone number so lawmakers could call him about election fraud or whatever. Perry contacted Donahue on December 27th, saying Trump himself had suggested the call and raised false election claims. So he just had the DOJ chasing rabbits everywhere, down rabbit holes with false claims.
It had people in place in strategic states ready to grab the ball, right?
Yep.
If the DOJ calls in, he's got Perry in Pennsylvania ready to sit there and say, you know what, let's decertify this.
Yeah.
And January 6th was just the Hail Mary at the end to just physically stop this electoral process. Yeah.
The fact that you use the word strategy is how you know it's a plot and a conspiracy, because Trump doesn't have strategy. There's no way Trump set up having people in all those places. So what we have to say, Trump is the front man. Who's the master? I don't like using the word master. Who's the insurrectionist mind? Who's the person who are the people who actually made these decisions? And I think that's when we need to go look at Stephen Miller's bags. That's when we need to go look at all of those people.
Steve Bannon.
Yeah, because there's no way Trump thought up, okay, we'll get this ready at DOJ, and then I'll have these representatives and everything. He didn't do that.
Right. I mean, was it Sidney Powell, Travis, that literally said what they didn't count on was Nancy Pelosi reconvening Congress that day and finishing the job? I'm like going, they thought she'd be dead by then. Yeah,
what about Samuel Alito? Because wasn't he the judge who was supposed to hear this and rule in their favor?
Right. They had Alito teed up. I mean, exactly. All of them. I mean, and as you were saying, Francis, this is ongoing because there is no punishment really thus far. Republican legislators announced they're investigating possible election fraud in one of North Carolina counties that backed Joe Biden. So Durham County, where Biden carried nearly 81% of the vote. It's a very Democratic county in North Carolina. We know Durham. It's where our Raleigh affiliate was, and Chapel Hill. But Yeah. They previously accused this county of voter fraud, was chosen for scrutiny similar to the shoddy audit conducted in Arizona. I mean, the state board of electors, the head there said the state board has received no credible evidence the certified results are not accurate, and elected officials from both sides of the aisle have stated that the 2020 general election in North Carolina was conducted fairly. But this is what's going to keep happening, Francis. They're saying they're going to physically go in and seize. And this cannot be allowed to happen. What happened in Arizona or what they're trying to do here. You can't physically take control of ballots. I mean, it's okay.
Well, here's the thing. If we have, and now we're at this place today. So when we get to 2022, if they can move the ball further down the field and start saying, you know what, we have to challenge every election that we've lost. Yeah. If they get to start saying that, by the time we get to the presidential election, it won't matter.
That's right.
It won't matter. Because if they can keep as many people and as many states up in flux.
Well, this whole game about will Trump run again, I think is answered by it will depend on if he can get enough people in place to make sure he can't lose, ironically, to rig it. If he can rig it, and know he will win no matter what, he'll run, I suppose, right?
He doesn't have to run. Like, this is the thing. If he gets the people in place to throw out the votes, can't they just say everybody wrote it in, or that's who they think people wanted to vote for? Like, I don't even know that he has to run.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane to me that we're sitting here and watching these. We're literally watching insurrectionists like sign a guest book. Like, I'm here to throw overthrow the government. This is my name, and I'll be here.
Yeah.
And then like, why aren't these people being arrested this morning?
Well,
you
read the Senate report, and you're like, how can he not be in jail? How would he be available to run with? Okay, all right.
And we have people who are trying to install a dear leader.
Yeah.
Right now, we're watching it. They're trying to install someone. That is not democratic. That is not what this country is. And calling these people on it is important.
Yeah. So Glenn Kirshner told us he believes that the Justice Department is working on a big overarching, did he say conspiracy case against Trump and the higher ups? But let's placate ourselves with the lower down riders. Oh, like who's the crazy bitch that sold Nancy Pelosi's laptop and tried to sell it to Russia?
Oh, yeah. Her.
That seems, I don't know, not just illegal, but treasony in many.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure that was she just picked it out of a hat, Russia. That's why she picked that country, sure. Prosecutors have formally charged a January 6th rioter with stealing a laptop from Nancy Pelosi's office and selling or disposing of it. Riley Williams, there is video that she shot, which is always helpful, as she paraded through Pelosi's office and suggested she grabbed the laptop and made off with it. Prosecutors, including a former partner, indicated she had intended to sell it to Russia, who illegally installed him in the first place. That's not important now, Frangela. My point is...
she got sent home with her mother.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, could you take out the tiniest of violins? Because Frangela cannot get enough of whiny white boys. How about this one? A Capitol rioter who served as the Philadelphia president of Philadelphia Proud Boys is comparing himself to falsely accused Olympic bombing suspect Richard Jewell and arguing that the Department of Justice is unfairly treating him like a James Bond supervillain mastermind.
Huh? Okay, one thing he's not is a James Bond supervillain mastermind.
No.
He ain't a mastermind enough.
Nothing.
No, he's not a mastermind of stupid. We do Idiot of the Week. I can tell you he's not even very good at stupid. I mean, that's a complete mischaracterization.
A lot of these people are not just on tape. They're on tape because they filmed themselves.
Yeah.
And okay. Proud Boys member Ryan Samsel earlier this year told law enforcement officials that Proud Boy leaders Joseph Biggs ordered him to push down barricades at the U.S. Capitol on the 6th. He claimed Biggs encouraged him to push the barricades down. When he hesitated, the Proud Boy leaders flashed a gun, questioned his manhood, and Twombly, calls foul, and repeated his demand to move up front and challenge the police. You know how this always ends well, as you know, for black people.
Sure.
Okay. Video footage shows Samsel talking with Biggs and then walking to the front of the mob to shove down the barricades intended to keep protesters out. In the process, Samsel also knocked down a police officer who was manning the barricades in an action in which the Times writes that arguably set off the ensuing riot.
Can I?
Yes.
Can I throw a flag on this?
Your defense is that your friend told you to go over there and do it?
Yes.
That's your defense?
Yeah, or you have a tiny penis if you don't. Really?
Right.
What about the part where he said he flashed a gun?
Yes.
And told him to do it
Right.
at the Capitol,
Yeah.
where it's illegal to have a gun.
Yeah. That's what the other, false talking point is. Nobody was armed. We're finding more and more of these people were armed, obviously.
That's all they want us to be. These are people who act, they're like, everywhere they go, they're armed.
Yeah.
It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. And yet, here we, when I think about how many people are in jail for things like not being able to pay fines, for, the woman who got 5 years for voting at the wrong precinct when she was told she could vote there.
Or the man who's in jail for life for stealing a jacket.
Yeah.
And they won't even hold these people. They treat them like children because they're white people. As we all know, you're only an adult when you choose to be, when you're white in this country.
Yeah.
Like they'll take an adult woman who steals a laptop out of the head, the Speaker of the House's office and tries to sell it to our enemy and send her home with her mom. It's like, it is the most insane. I can't get over the fact that we are literally watching them create an insurrection in our faces.
And thank God for at least a few judges that are going, why are these sentences so light? And are sentencing actually more in some cases than the DOJ is asking for, because that's exactly what they're saying. Like, why would this?
45 days? And I'm glad that they did, at least that judge did do 45 days this week. But when you think about it, isn't that what Felicity Huffman did? Like, I'm like, we've got to figure that out. Like, I'm glad this person got sentenced to 45 days as opposed to not getting any days, which what the prosecution wasn't even counting for, calling for any prison time. But Felicity Huffman did a month solid for a college scam.
Yeah.
And can I say this? I just want to say this. What they're saying is that the conditions in jail are horrible and awful and are fit for white people. They aren't fit for people who are Republicans. They aren't fit for these people.
Yeah.
No matter what
we will not treat them like this. But if you are black or you are brown or you are poor, this is where you belong.
Yeah. Yeah. You bringing up Felicity Huffman makes me want to green screen a photo of all of us doing crew to Madison for Sexy Liberal. Is there a waterway that goes from here to Madison?
No.
It would be funny if
Absolutely,
Frangela and I were rowing there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That was my scholarship. It's for that in ballet.
Okay. All right. So here's the good news. Many of the 11 individuals linked to the pro-Trump rally that preceded the January 6th riot are expected to comply with the House Select Committee's investigation, while other top Trump associates are expected to attempt to rebuff the committees. So they issued 11 subpoenas, was it, last week? A majority of those contacted have engaged in active conversations already with the committee, which is going to make the people they're going to make them doubly when they do have to comply. But I agree with you. They should have at 12:01 last night, right?
Yeah.
Arrest these people. I mean, you got to send a message this time.
Like, we have no choice. I'm at the place where, for instance, I talk about it in the final word. We're at the place where we have no choice but to see these people as complicit, because if this were anything else, there is no Black Panther Party now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and they weren't calling for the end of the nation. So I can't get my mind around. If we're going to continually talk about some sort of ineffectiveness, no, this isn't ineffectiveness. This is a lack. They are complicit.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. 47.
There's no justice at the Justice Department.
Nope.
There just isn't.
Yeah.